What's going on, everybody? This is Brian from SneakerFiles.com, and no lie, this video is probably the most looked forward to I'm going to do this month. This pack I wanted so bad, and I was lucky enough to get this pack early for retail. So big shout out to two individuals. I don't want to name names because honestly, I was told not to. But this is the Air Jordan DMP pack. So we're actually going to call it DMP, and I'll get to that in a bit. DMP stands for Defining Moments Pack. So how this video is going to roll out, first I'm going to kind of do an unboxing. I saw the shoes in person, but I wanted to kind of do a live unboxing, so I didn't actually undo them and look at them. I had a friend who did, and I did see it, but I didn't want to touch them. I didn't want to do anything, so kind of give you a live experience almost. But after that, we'll jump to the review of each pair in this pack, and I'll show you an overview of the box, kind of go over the details on quality and what I do know about the pack so far. So let's jump into it. As you can see, it's a big box. It's just, if you've seen the Atmos collaboration, it's just like that. Slides up like so, and blow. So I'm gonna have to move this around like this a little bit because I don't want my paper to get messed up. So I'm going to assume that people want to see the Air Jordan 13 first. So pulling this bad boy out. This is the Air Jordan 13 DMP. Okay. So we got this like patent leather around it in metallic gold. Not a bad look. So that is the 13. Now you guys know, to me, I mean the 13 is cool. I love the model, but in this pack, you guys know the 14 is what I'm about. The 14 is my favorite model, hands down. So I've been looking forward to this. I do wish the pack was sold individually, but that isn't the case. So here we got the 14. Ooh, shit. And I'm not over exaggerating this. They put on some plush leather on this. Okay. The tongue's a little funky. One thing you will notice that it reeks of, yeah, it just smells really strong of leather. Fuck, I don't mean to cuss, but very nice leather. So here's the outsole. Man, this is dope. This is so dope. Yeah, I just really wish the pack was sold individually. Like you could have bought the 14 or the 13, because I definitely would have not bought the 13. I would have just bought the 14. So let's jump into the details. All right, so back to the table, and the Air Jordan DMP pack releases on June 14th. Now, I do believe that is a placeholder date because June 14th is a Wednesday. I believe it's a Wednesday. So it's right in the middle of the week, and typically, you know, Jordans drop on the weekends, on Saturday. So it could be moved around, but at the time of shooting this, it is June 14th. Retail for the pack is $500, like I stated, and of course you're getting a special box, and you're getting the Air Jordan 13 and the Air Jordan 14. Now moving forward, I'm going to do an overview of the 13, and then I'm going to do the 14 and show you the box and get on to the outro. I'm sure everybody knows this, but during the 1998 NBA Finals, Michael Jordan wore the Air Jordan 13 and the 14. He actually took what's known as the last shot in the Air Jordan 14. So celebrating his last and final championship, Jordan Brand is releasing this pack. But moving forward, we have the 13 up first. And as you can see, it comes in a predominant white theme, and we have leather throughout. Now the toe, it's slightly tumbled, and it's pretty plush. I'll be honest on that. It's not bad. The panels itself is a little bit more stiff, but again, it's still decent, pretty damn good leather. And you have all those dimples in there, and I believe that represents the panther's whiskers. So across, just below where we would typically have suede, that is patent leather, and it's metallic gold. And what it resembles is that of the Air Jordan 11 Low closing ceremony. But here's the thing. The closing ceremony, in my opinion, that patent leather and the look of it and everything was absolute trash. And that's just my opinion. Now, the 13, a lot better. But I'll give you a little bit of a closer look at that. I do like the color combination on the 13. I do. I think it's pretty dope. And I love, you guys know I love packs that pay tribute to something that happened, you know, connecting to Jordan's career. So the hologram has been replaced. I mean, it's still a hologram, but it features Jordan taking the last shot in 98 for the year. So hopefully you could see that. Try to show you the best I can. Overall, this is pack so dope. So again, we got that patent metallic gold on patent leather metallic gold on the heel, little bits of white. Don't worry, I haven't forgot about the tongue, the inside of the tongue. I'll get to that in a bit. Medial side. Same setup, leather up top, patent leather, metallic gold. And the midsole is not patent leather, but it is like a glossy type overcoat used on the metallic gold, which actually it looks right. Like it's not different colors, because in the past we've seen Jordan Brand release. It's supposed to be the same color, but on the midsole or different, material use, it's kind of different. And that isn't the case here. Now that I'm really looking at the 13, I'm actually liking it a bit more, but I'm still all about the 14s. So here is a bird's eye view, sort of the toe. And at the bottom where it says Jordan, that's done in metallic gold. Tumble leather on the tongue with perforations. And then you have your bit of red that's on the Jumpman. I'm going to pull out these lace tips. Gold lace tips. See just a little Jumpman right there. And it's done in metallic gold, and it is metal. So big ups to Jordan Brand on that. We got all white on the liner. And on the inside of the tongue, on one of them it says, "They can't win." The other one says, "Until we quit." Now, Jordan actually said this, it wasn't an interview, but they were being recorded after they won the finals, and Jordan actually said that on camera, so that's why they're using it on the shoes. Now here I pulled out the insole. We got all white and red on the Jumpman. Let me bring you to the sole. So we got predominant white, a little bit of black in the midfoot where it's supposed to be carbon fiber. And we have kind of like that hologram with the Jumpman branding printed over it. So that was your overview. Closer look at the Air Jordan 13, a part of the pack. Now you guys know I'm biased for the 14, but I'm going to give it to you real. I've already bought the pack, so it doesn't matter. I want it, and it's just a prime example, even though if I might be a fan of it, because I just looked at it. I haven't overviewed it yet or really went in depth on it. The 13s I have, but I'll get into all my thoughts and everything on to the outro. But before that happens, got to do the 14s. Now to the 14s. So right off the bat, what I'm going to let you guys know is what I'm not a fan of is the tongue. The tongue sits awkward as far as it being in comparison to the OG. So it sits awkward. It's a bit higher than usual, but I can get over that. So on the toe, again, it's kind of like the textured tumbled leather, slightly, and I mean slightly tumbled. It's a little bit on the stiff side, but not bad. Not stiff like as in cardboard or, well, cardboard can be bent, but you guys know what I'm saying. Like, it's a little bit stiff. Now, here is where the premium comes in, is on the panels. Like this panel area where the ribbing is, so damn soft. Like, it's incredible how soft it is. Like, I thought like they would use that on the 13s, but I guess not. Um, the 13s are definitely more stiff on the panels and everything like that. All right, so again, it's harder, but it needs to be a little bit stiff in this area. I know that. So all black, we kind of have that glossy overlay on the midsole. It actually, in areas, it looks like up top we have a true black, but where the teeth and the midsole is, it's kind of like almost an anthracite in areas, and I believe that is because of the somewhat of a glossy finish to it. It's not as glossy as the 13s, but it has some gloss. So we got metallic gold also on the midsole. That actually looks really, really dope. And one thing is the Ferrari emblem up top. So usually it's just like a jewel. Like, you just, there's no abbreviations to it or whatever, but you can actually fill everything in here. So it's a little bit raised. Damn, it's just dope to me. But instead of XIV on the heel, we have 98, which pays tribute to the last NBA championship Jordan won. And it's all black. Predominant black shoes, you can see. And metallic gold, that's just, man, that's so dope. Again, these panels right here, it's very plush, very, very soft. Up top, a little bit more stiff. All right, I'm going to bring it to the toe. Jumpman is blacked out. The tongue itself, leather, and it has perforations. Up top, we have Jordan written across, and I believe that is anthracite, because it's not like a true black. It's almost like a grayish hue. And then the liner, all black. So the inside of the tongue says "they can't win" on one of them. And the other one says "until we quit." And that's done in red, obviously. And I did pull out the insole, all black metallic gold hit on the Jumpman. Now I'll bring you to the outsole. All black, got a little bit of red where the XIV is, and metallic gold in the midfoot shank. And you can see the Jumpman branding. I don't know, black and gold to me is just, I really like that look to it. But then again, white and gold would have been cool too, but I'm just happy they did the 14 black and gold. But we're going to go over this one more time. Jump to the box. Air Jordan 14 DMP. And if you guys want, I'm going to say this again in the outro because I'm not sure if everyone's going to watch all the way through. But I'll do a comparison of the Air Jordan 11, or Air Jordan 6 and Air Jordan 11 DMP Pack 2. If you guys want. So let me know in the comments. First up, we have the lid, and that is the play that Phil Jackson drew up for Jordan to take the actual final shot. And I think that's really cool, like that touch on the box. To me, it's all about connecting back into history, which they did, and they even did so bringing back, this play that Phil Jackson drew that really connects into basketball. Like, I haven't seen Jordan Brand do something like this. I don't think they ever have. So I thought that was dope. And obviously, black metallic gold is the theme. I'm not going to go over the colors moving forward, but you guys could see that right here. So now I have it flipped around. It's actually, I guess it's backwards because the actual lid, where you open it, it has like this see-through plastic over it. But that would be the lid. You could just easily pull it up, which we're about to do. All right, so I got you off the tripod. It's probably the best to show it this way. But why it's called the DMP, it says it on the inside of the box. So it reads, "This Air Jordan Defining Moments Pack celebrates Michael Jordan's final championship. Both the Air Jordan 13 and Air Jordan 14 were worn by MJ in the final championship series, where he cemented his legacy as the greatest of all time." That's done in gold. That's dope. They really did go above and beyond. Once you take out the shoes, on the bottom of the box, it actually has game stats. So where the Air Jordan 13 would be, it has the stats for Game 1, Game 2, and Game 5. Now, where the 14 would be, it has the stats for Game 3, Game 4, and Game 6. Here's a quick look at the box tab, Air Jordan DMP Pack. So, no more finalist pack, guys. Retail is $500, multicolor, and it has the product number. And then just this little knob right here, which I think is just to carry it because that doesn't pull out. On one of the sides of the box, you got 1998. You also have the Jumpman branding in gold. On the opposite side of the box, you still have that play written up, but you have additional branding. You got Nike up top. This could also be used for a legit check, I guess. I might do a real versus fake of this package. I already saw that there were fakes of it. So, but if I don't, in the case that that doesn't happen, then you can use this because I have seen quite a bit of fakes floating around. Alright everybody, so that was your review and unboxing of the Air Jordan DMP Pack, which features the Air Jordan 13 and the Air Jordan 14. For now, the date is June 14th. Again, that could be moved forward, moved back. The thing is, that's a Wednesday, like I stated, so it's a little bit weird for the middle of the week, but who knows? It could still happen on that day. Retail price will be $500. Now for the quality. The quality is really nice. Especially the 14, like, I'm surprised. The 13 is really nice as well. As far as the shape goes of the 14, though, that tongue sticks out a little bit too much, but it's okay. Now the craftsmanship. I'll be honest, you're dropping $500 on this pack, and the craftsmanship does lack. Obviously, there's a ton of glue stains, and on the 14 especially, there's like already creases in the midsole. These have not been tried on. I may do an on feet this week, if not next week, but you could definitely see like the glue stains and just smudges and little nicks here and there. So I just don't think that should be the case. Now the 13, it does have some glue stains, but again, it's not as visible because it's on the white, but you can kind of see it. The patent leather, up top right here, you see your glue stains. Is it as bad as some of the other Jordans we've seen release? Hell no. But there is some in the $500 price tag. Is a lot. Now, I would suggest saying check your pairs out. But, and I don't have confirmation on this now. I'm hearing this is going to be a limited pack. As far as it being limited like a COS release or an Atmos pack, no, it's not going to be to that at all. But it's not going to be like you walk into your local retailer a day after they drop, or even a few days after they drop, and they're going to be there. No. I believe these will sell out first day, just because the $500 price tag, that's a lot of money for people. But they're not going to put out that many pairs of it still. And Jordan Brand knows that. Now going forward, as far as updates go on the release date, availability, if they're really limited or not, I'll have that in the news segment. So if you're already subscribed, you'll get the alerts on that. And I'll probably throw that up in the title somewhere when we get closer to the date. But leave a comment below. Let me know your thoughts on the pack. Which pair you like better? Do you like the 13s or the 14s? You guys already know I love the 14s. I'm happy with this pack overall. I'm not so happy about the price tag, but hey, sometimes you gotta pay if you really want something. And this pack, when I heard the Air Jordan 14 was in it, I had to have it. I didn't care. You guys know I absolutely love the 14. So again, big shout out to the two individuals that made this happen. Greatly appreciate that. I almost bought this pack at resale. I didn't want to, which was like $800. So good thing I didn't do that. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned to SneakerFiles.com. And if you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe.